in my eyes, what do you see? CM Punk whipping some fucking ass. Welcome back to the AR Wrestling Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We are your co-hosts, Alex and Ryan. And, this week this episode, we're just gonna go over Raw. And like we've been talking about the past couple episodes, we've been doing a new format for the episodes and everything to make to get you guys more content in a way. So just be on the lookout for more, I guess, episodes. I don't know. But before we start, Ryan, what's popping, dude?
Not too much. Trying to think back on what all happened on this week. It was kind of a banger week, not gonna lie.
It was an insanely banger week. What am I talking about?
Dog be staring at me right now. She be plotting shit.
Yeah, your dog, she did be plotting shit, but hey, so them dogs. Where were they? Nebraska?
Nebraska.
Yeah. Same with the dogs in Nebraska. But let's get into some wrestling news we got for this episode of Raw. The Velveteen Dream is wanting back in the company after being out for 5 years. This is what he said. He goes, "The reality, a lot of you owe me an apology for dragging me through the mud. Knowing 5 years later, here I still stand free and without a single charge, but I get it. It's very hard for people to admit when they're wrong and malicious, but hey, that's wrestling." For those who know, Velveteen Dream got into some legal troubles. I forgot what they were, but it was not good for him.
Allegations, all the likes, not wanting to be heard of all that shit, but apparently he's all cleared up and wants back in WWE. I think I've seen one Velveteen Dream match in my entire life, and it was not in WWE. I think it was in AEW, and I think it was against Kenny Omega. And I think the only reason that it was good was because it was Kenny Omega. So I honestly can't remember anything about the Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, he was very popular with higher ups when he was in the company because they were going to push him heavily, but then things came out and shit went sideways. But in some other news, Corey Graves and Carmella are expecting their second child, meaning Carmella is going to be out of action longer. And I mean, she's getting up there in age, like not trying to call her stupid, like stupid old, but as a wrestler, your body deteriorates pretty fast. She's 37 now, meaning I think she's called it a career on wrestling. I'm not gonna lie, I think she's called it a career.
I like to see her. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Because if you remember her last pregnancy, if I'm not mistaken, paralyzed her from the waist down. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I know it fucked up her foot really bad where she has to do PT.
Drop foot.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I was really hoping to see Carmella here in the near future, but looks like she's not going to be back anytime soon.
And even if this isn't in for her in-ring career, I mean, I wouldn't be against her coming in as like a backstage panelist, a pre-show host, a backstage journalist, something like that.
I completely agree because I think at the time, her and Big E both had their injuries or whatever happened to them. I think Carmella had gotten pregnant, Big E's injury happened, and then we had learned everything about Carmella with the drop foot and everything like that. So, I mean, it's unfortunate to see her not back in the ring, but very happy that, they're wanting to expand their family. Good for Corey Graves and Carmella.
Yeah.
I still think Carmella is one of the best women's champions we've ever had in the modern era.
Oh, yeah, Carmella is super underrated, I think.
There was a promo she cut. I think it was like 2018, something like that. And Vince looked at her and said, "You do better than all the guys combined. I wish the guys would do what you do."
Hell yeah.
Getting the praise from Vinnie Mac, even though, those things are happening right now with him. But I think it's moved us right into Raw. You ready, Ryan?
Oh, yeah. Let's move right on into Raw. Yeet.
So we get a replay of Seth and Sammy, that promo from last week. Sammy and Paul Heyman are in the locker room. We see that as well. Sammy gets Randy or John after Backlash. Then we see Sammy giving his answer to Seth in the ring. He tells him to go to hell. Breaker's music hits. We get Sammy versus Breaker. See Breaker super spearing Sammy multiple times. Very I don't know how you didn't kill Sammy.
Stop, he's already dead.
Yeah, you say that, but Rollins stomps him in the head. We all know that. And the one thing I kind of played, that I heard a lot, or it wasn't a lot, but it really stood out to me was you can live with the future or you can die with the past. And I think that's what, if you're gonna have like a group motto, this is what the group's motto is going to be. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that. Put it on a t-shirt.
Oh my God. But after this, sorry, we see Io walk in. We see Roxanne walk in for their match later in the night. We see Otis with Alpha Academy and Rusev walking by himself. And then we get Otis versus Rusev later in the night. And then we see Gunther get ready for the face-to-face with the one and only Pat McAfee. But we started the show yeeting with the fans in the concourse. And Jay gets in the ring after yeeting and yeeting and yeeting. He does it twice because he's World Heavyweight Champion. He can do what he wants to. Yeet. And so he said, I said the World Heavyweight Champion main event. Jay Uso is now in your city. Yeet.
Yeet.
And he goes, I'm here. I know Logan Paul here. So let's stand on business tonight, Uso. Where you at? Paul Heyman comes out. He gets booed heavily. We know his name is Paul Heyman. But he's not there to disrespect the World Heavyweight Champion, main event Jey Uso. But he went to Omaha, Nebraska because he wanted to say something to the face of the World Heavyweight Champion, main event Jey Uso. Jay's like, OG, you got a lot of balls stepping in the ring with me after what you did to my family. And Paul says, so you're going to lecture me about leaving the OTC Roman Reigns? Mind you, every time he brings up Roman Reigns, he still does he's praying to Roman still. But Jay had said, no, Jay and Paul have been, together since day one. But Paul goes, nobody other than Paul. Maybe you should have said something about CM Punk. Paul berates the crowd. He goes, keep your booze to yourself, but not one of you or you had to live with what I went through. CM Punk put him in a position where he can 100% guarantee sabotage. Like, I was kind of liking that because I think that's what Punk's plan all along was to sabotage this whole thing with Roman, even though Roman promised to never touch him, even though he did like 2 months later, something like that. So, my bad. Kaylee just walked in just to make sure she's all right. But they chant his name, but they don't know what's in the dark. They don't know what's in the dark heart of that man. So that's the second person now that was close with Punk that has kind of berated him publicly like Rollins has, I'd say. That man put Paul in a position that would sabotage his relationship with Roman. And let's talk Roman. Paul had a dream for the bloodline. Paul had a dream with his best friend CM Punk. My bad. This is true. This is all happening while Roman's still in high school playing football. But he wanted to be in Punk's corner. So why would Paul tell Punk Roman's secret after he built the bloodline for 5 years? Which is true. I think Punk was trying to tear apart whatever was left of it, I guess. But Paul's like, I turned him into the OTC. I found him a straight big dog on the island of relevancy. And he says that him and Roman were champ for 1,316 days. Nah. It's not how that works. But he wasn't the one who blew it at WrestleMania 40. Roman did, because he got his eyes locked on Seth. He was like, well, then what did Roman do? What did he do? He disappeared, leaving him with Solo, the Tongans. But he didn't come back to avenge Paul. He came back for the Ufa Lafa. And Roman couldn't handle the fact that Paul wanted to live his dream with Punk, which is true. Roman's kind of a jealous character. But Paul's accusing himself of always being the bad guy. But this time, he says he's in the right. And he says, screw Jay and screw the fans. And we get asshole chants. And Jay goes, are you okay? He goes, this is how he asked it. He goes, are you okay? I was like, oh, Jesus. He goes, as a matter of fact, are you done? Because I got another question for you, OG. What the hell does this have to do with me? That's what I need to know. What does this have to do with Jay? What are you trying to come out of my... my homie for, not my homie, my man for. Come on, it's the guy. It's the guy. He goes, I owe you an apology. Paul goes, I owe you an apology, though. He goes, right, nothing to do with you. But I came out to talk to you, which has everything to do with you, Jey Uso. He kind of just keeps bringing up Jey and how he's the world heavyweight champion. But he goes, you think yeeting with the fans and putting on the best in-ring performance is not what that title is about. While you want to be champion, Rollins has to be champion. Seth Rollins has to have that power. Seth Rollins has to have that control. And Braun Breaker, shit, that was only stage 1. Stage 2 is that title. But I'm out here tonight to do you a favor. And we all know how well the favors work out, don't we? And I'm going to let you pick the night you lose the World Heavyweight Championship. Because Jey Uso, Seth Rollins challenges you for the World Heavyweight Championship. Because he pinned Roman at WrestleMania. He beat CM Punk and Roman Reigns. And the favor that we're giving you is you pick the time and the place. Seth will fight you anytime, any place. As Paul goes to leave, Jay's like, man, hold up, OG. Omaha, can you help me out? But did he just say anytime, yeet, any place, yeet, anywhere, yeet for the World Heavyweight Championship? Yeet against Seth freaking Rollins. Well, Omaha, it's on tonight. 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet. This promo was amazing.
This was fire.
I loved it. Everything with it. Like just the way Paul I still don't understand the whole entire first part of why Paul is just like whatever Paul was doing before he said this is what this has to do with Jey. But like the character, like I don't know if you really paid attention to how Paul was playing his character. It was fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, this is like, oh my god, Paul Heyman is so freaking good at what he does. Like, his character work, like the way he was like screaming in the microphone about Punk and Roman, had me questioning if I should be like, should I be on Punk's side? Should I be acknowledging my tribal chief? They did kind of fuck Paul over.
That's what I'm saying. I started thinking about that shit too.
It's like craziness, but no, I'm totally loving it, and then this leads into like the main event. Like, oh my god,
God, it does. I'm excited. I'm just gonna say this right now. I bit so fucking hard on the main event. But we'll get there when we get there. But the highlight of the night, it'll be Dominic versus Penta highlights from 2 weeks ago. Then we see War Raiders versus JD and Finn from last week, and Penta getting involved and all that. But backstage, we see Paul Heyman walking up to Seth and Braun. He goes, Jay fell for it. Jay wants to do the match tonight. And Seth's like, I love to say this. I told you so. So I'm going to tell you so. Breaker's in disbelief because he's like, why would Jay do that? He's so stupid. But Paul gives Breaker the rundown of what happened at Mania and gives Jay props for making Gunther tap, though, because he did make Gunther tap. This is true. He did make Gunther tap. So I want to make that. I want to point that out. The Gunther tapping is something that we see a little bit of a theme later in the night for Gunther. But Paul says Jay isn't ready for Rollins because he's been preparing for Logan Paul. And I kind of sat there and thought about it. I was like, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah, this
he's
makes
not.
sense.
But Rollins is focused on Jay because there's no one left. Tonight, they get handed the keys to the kingdom when the ref hands the World Heavyweight Championship to Seth Rollins. I'm saying Breaker's going to get this title at some point.
Oh my god. He's a potential Royal Rumble winner next year or maybe a year after. I don't know, but it's coming.
I don't want to say do it so soon, but you can put the briefcase on him.
Who did I have? Okay, hold on. I had a really good idea. I actually got Seth winning that briefcase.
Really?
Mm-hmm. In my opinion, Seth wins the briefcase this year. For the men, and then my early prediction for the women is Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green is the favorite right now, actually. I'm not even lying to you.
I know. I want Chelsea so bad to win that.
It's Chelsea Green. If she holds that women's championship,
Oh my God,
I might bow.
please.
I just might. Don't quote on it. I might become a fan of Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a
I,
big might though.
I
So
need that in my life.
after this, we get Penta El Cerro Miedo versus JD McDonough, and I'm not gonna lie, this match is pretty good. I like this match. This match is early card PLE for me.
Hmm.
I like. There's a lot of like PLE matches that I think need to happen. And I think what they need to do with JD McDonough is give him a little push because he does look a little bit bigger now. He looks a little bit more buff. But just to get the match starting out, JD starts out with a couple arm drags on Penta, but then later in the match hits a standing Spanish fly. But Penta later calls to the Mexican driver, which where Finn distracts the ref. Carlito grabs Penta's mask, but JD ends up getting sent to the outside. And as Penta hits the crossbody on Carlito and JD from the top rope to the outside, Finn takes out Penta and sends him back into the ring, though. And the ref sees Finn throw Penta back in. He goes, "What'd you just do?" And Finn's like, "I didn't do nothing." And we see Carlito and Finn both get sent to the back. Gable comes in, grabs Penta's foot, but Penta is later able to hit the tope con hilo onto Gable. A lot of this match was interference, but I mean, you really put these two on match 1-1, no interference. I think it'd be so good. But
Oh yeah,
Penta
for
is
sure.
able to hit a Mexican destroyer for the win. Did not like that. If we're gonna run this as his new finisher, I would be okay with that because it keeps him away from Ray Phoenix in the sense that they're their own people. Because I feel like every great tag team has two people who have a finisher they can put together, and two really good separate finishers. So,
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like him doing the Mexican Destroyer to
like, I'd
I,
be
I,
okay with the sacrifice
oh
leading
my
into the
God.
Mexican destroyer.
I wish the sacrifice was used properly. Like I wish it was like used as like the move that it could be because you genuinely could hype that move up as like something that he breaks out in only his biggest matches and it
Yeah.
is sold as oh my God, my arm broken, and you got to have the person walk around in like a sling for a week or two at least. But
Well, I don't think we saw it this week, so I think we're fine. I think we might be seeing something new with that. To be honest, like your idea that you could have just said, honestly.
I would genuinely really like that because I think the idea of having a wrestler having because Randy has the punt kick, right?
Yeah.
The sacrifice could be Penta's quote unquote punt kick, while also Kevin Owens has the package pile driver, and like, these wrestlers have these quote unquote death moves that can be Penta's death move or whatever.
By God, he's dead.
Oh my God, he got a family, just broke his damn arm.
He's got a family. Oh shit. But you know who also has a family? Austin Theory. He gets fucked over by Grayson Waller. Waller's pleading with Pierce backstage, but because he doesn't want the match tonight, and offers it to Austin Theory. And Pierce is like, "Are you serious? You want to do this?" Waller's like, "Yeah." And Theory's like, "Who is it?" And Waller's like, "Well, I think we should keep it a surprise." This man is fighting the Irishman, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus, bro. It's fight night. So
It's
Theory and Sheamus,
fight night.
Sheamus and Theory get into a collar and elbow tie up to start up the match. But Sheamus later locks in the cloverleaf submission. But like I noticed throughout this match, Waller's keeping his distance from Theory. He's not really trying to help. He's not. So Theory hits a roll through blockbuster later onto Sheamus, but it isn't enough because Sheamus hits the 10 beats of the Badger, but he hits Theory 14 times, which leads to the bro kick for the win.
I think I saw a screenshot, or not a screenshot or whatever, but a picture online of like after Shane or like as Sheamus was hitting the pinfall on him, or Waller had his back turned and was smiling or whatever about it.
I think so.
So, um,
I think I know what you're talking about actually.
yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember. I can't exactly find it. But yeah, it looks like these guys are still breaking up.
Yeah, still after months. He's trying to drag this out to some big thing, but I think what's going to happen is it's going to finally. Oh my god, it's going to finally push Theory into that big star that he is.
Maybe. I feel like it'll at least push Theory into. It'll at least push one of them into a credible mid card title position. I feel like.
I see a lot of people and a lot of like rumors that Theory is going to be one of the he's going to be a world champion in the in the near future in like the next like 5 years, I think.
I'm not trying to pitch myself as like some wrestling guru or anything. Like I could I'll gladly be proven wrong or anything. I just don't see it.
Right. And I
Like I
think
don't.
part of the reason is because of Theory's booking. His booking was so shitty after WrestleMania. Or no, when he won the Money in the Bank, because everybody's like, okay, you know what? Theory wasn't the best pick, but they could buy the pick. He won the Money in the Bank, cashed it in, right? On the United States Championship. On Rey Mysterio, matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken. And then
Oh my
defended
god.
it against Cena at WrestleMania 39, which Cena lost. You could have revived that United States Championship, but no, you waited 6 months later to do it. Then, where am I at? What else is
Actually,
there?
hold
And then
on.
he's been part of this like jobber, like lower mid card tag team since he's lost the United States Championship
He he didn't cash
to
it in on Ray.
who did he cash
Let's
it in on?
let's double this down. He cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase not on a world champion, on a United States champion,
Yeah,
unsuccessfully against Seth Rollins.
yeah. Let's double down on that.
How do you fail your cash in after
On a
going
mid card
on the
championship.
mid card diet?
Like, yeah, we get it. It's Seth Rollins. It's Seth freaking Rollins. Whatever. How the fuck do you feel that though?
Oh wow, that's bad.
It's horrible. God
But I
awful,
feel
some say.
like in Triple H's mind, this is like his version of the Mega Powers imploding.
It's just a horrible way of the Mega Powers. So, oh man. Okay. There's hair on my nose, and I'm not. It was like a weird. Okay. Let's do this shit now. After this, though, we get breaking news. Dominic is defending the Intercontinental Championship at Backlash. I'm pretty sure versus Penta. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I forgot to write it down.
Yes, Penta.
Judgment Day is in the locker room though after this, and JD comes in fired up, says Penta and Gable need it ASAP. And Dom goes, he says, I miss my I'm not going to try to say. He misses Liv, basically. But AJ later walks in. He goes, I didn't come in to start nothing. You know, it's kind of a friendly warning. AJ doesn't care who wins at Backlash. He's going after the Intercontinental Championship. And Dom's complaining about being a champ. And Dom asks Finn to take care of AJ Styles. And Finn's like, are you serious? You know what? Yeah, we're family. Yeah, 100%. That's what the Judgment Day does for each other, right? And that was basically that was it. For that. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I need Dom to beat Penta without. I can deal with Judgment Day help. I can deal with that, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'd be
I
okay
would
with having
love
Judgment Day
Judgment Day
help.
help.
And it's only because Gunther had help in his big ass reign.
Mm-hmm. He'll probably need it with I'd see like I've seen people say like Finn could try helping him and like almost cost Dominic the entire match, or like Finn could like I've seen even like an idea where I might end up throwing this idea into my Backlash predictions where Finn tries to screw Dominic and ends up accidentally helping him retain, and then he's just gonna play it off like he meant to do it.
I could see that one. I would see that more with Finn because Finn's kind of like that manipulator character.
Hmm. But I'm also on
So
the side that believes that we could potentially turn Finn babyface, like turn him back babyface and have him go on a big old run.
I don't know. I would honestly be okay with him being because like Finn is your guy, and you know whatever.
Right. So I'm
But
always
like,
gonna pick something like
yeah,
that and be favorable
and that's
towards that.
fair. I mean, I'm the same way with Jay. We all know this. But I think you keep Finn heel. You have him not. You don't have him take it off Dom. You have him take it off. No, you have him take it off like Penta or AJ
Oh my god, that'd
because
be
that
so
went over
good.
Dom. Let's be real. No, I don't think that would do much for his career unless Dom has this like insane ass IC title run. But I don't see it. I don't know. I mean, I could see an implosion again at SummerSlam where the Judgment Day fully implodes.
Again.
Like, just to
We
finish
won't
out
be
the
there for part
implosion.
2.
That's fine. We were there for part 1. We were there for the OG.
True. We were there for the original Judgment Day
Well,
implosion.
actually, no,
Well,
we were
actually, we
not
were
there
there
for
for the
the. No,
second
we were.
Judgment Day implosion.
Yeah, we were there for the second Judgment Day implosion. I had to think about that. So after this, though, Chad is back there. He's mad. He's mad at the Luchadors. He's just ranting whatever. New Day comes in and they walk in saying that American Made needs some recognition and opportunities like the World Tag Team Championships need to go to American Made. Becky Lynch walks in, kind of just doesn't say anything. New Day says it's messed up what Lyra did to Becky, and Becky's like, "Thank you," and then she goes to the ring to cut a promo.
Yeah, that's it, actually.
I will give you my thoughts on this promo at some point. I gotta find It's literally in the beginning of this. I'm gonna highlight this just so I can make it clear. She gets cheered, and Becky is confused about what's going on though, because the fans are treating Becky like she's the bad guy. She's getting fucking cheered. Let's just point that out. So she's the victim, and nobody asked where Bayley was after the win. Bayley's garbage. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna say this throughout the entire promo. Becky is such a bad heel. Like she cannot act like a heel at all. She's too loved. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people like her too much.
But I think what Lyra says later kind of helps out Becky because I think I wrote it down. I don't remember. All right, but anyways, Becky took out the garbage and she actually took out the recycling too. What? Her like I say, her heel promo work horrible. I don't like it. That's just me though. Lyra doesn't make history though if it wasn't for Becky, and Becky gets all this disrespect, and then Lyra comes out, and this is where Lyra hits it. I'm like, okay, this could help Bayley or Becky's character. She calls Becky the queen of recycling the same old act for years. I'm not gonna lie, she's not wrong. It's worked. She's not wrong.
It's worked, but yeah, she ain't wrong.
The one thing that Lyra wants Becky to know is that she didn't make her. Becky went on holidays. Everyone got better. And when she went on holidays, Lyra was making history of her own. And throw shade at Becky for defending her title more than Becky's been at work this year. Holy shit.
Let's be real, Lyra. How many times have you actually defended it, though? 2 isn't that much higher.
Area. Intercontinental Championship reign. Can I get...
I'm getting 2 or 3 is my guess.
I'm guessing probably 2. To be honest. Let's see. Right here. This is matches. We got our matches. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's defended it 5 times. Wait, hold on. 4 times. 4 times.
That's crazy.
Dakota Kai, Ivy Nile, Raquel Rodriguez, and Bayley.
Okay.
That's according to Cage Match. So
no, that's right. I actually remember all those.
Where Lyra, yeah, and then but it says Becky had no intention of bringing everyone up with her when Becky was rising to the top. And Becky says Lyra is right, but they didn't have anyone to compare themselves to. It's Becky's job to beat everyone. She's the greatest to ever do it. Sports Illustrated says she's the GOAT. And Lyra will only ever be the moment after the moment. Again, I'm not liking this promo work. I'm going to be very critical about Becky's promo work. She's a veteran. A little bit. But Lyra says she's wrong. Becky can keep listing her accolades, which is true. But Lyra starts listing Becky's accomplishments. And she goes, first double champion, first this, first that, whatever. But she goes, you were the first woman to Intercontinental? Oh, wait, that's me. And as long as I'm here, I hope you like second place. But Becky goes for a cheap shot, but Lyra catches her, and Lyra straight whips Becky's ass, but security separates them. And Becky says, you see this disrespect? And she says she did nothing wrong. But as she goes for a manhandle slam, Lyra reverses into a Nightwing. I like Becky as a face. Heel could definitely use some work.
Yeah, definitely. This is
Like
giving me a little
take a
bit.
few hints out of your husband's book. He's a loved heel. He's playing a
Oh my
heel, but
god.
he's loved.
Yeah, I freaking love Seth Rollins as a heel. I
God.
definitely I'm holding out hope at least for the weekend that during the match Becky will, because Becky is just a phenomenal wrestler. I'm hoping that she'll at least be able to turn it around and maybe like I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. I'm just trying to just get a point across that I'm hoping Becky is able to dial it in more and present a more like heel character because this is more or less just Becky Lynch's usual character just saying mean shit.
This is when she's yelling at Rue. No, I'm kidding. Um, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I hope she does not yell at Rue like that.
I think I actually genuinely like the idea of her potentially joining Paul and Seth and Breaker at some point.
I think it would help her out a little bit.
Yeah,
But I mean, yeah, her husband's doing all the carrying. But I mean, like, if she really wants to be a heel, she really needs to take some shit out of his book, Roman's book. Um, like I would even say Charlotte's book. Like, I'm not saying go through like those heel promos like you're gonna straight take digs, but like
completely bury her in
figure out
side
what
to side
works.
promo.
Yeah, figure out what
Sit,
works.
I want her to sit in a chair looking down at her and go, "Oi, Lyra! Oi, Lyra! Oi, oi, wake up, Lyra!"
That'd be wild.
Just like
That'd be so funny.
that'd be great.
Oh man. So
Oh,
where we at?
Lyra!
Lyra, who's your partner,
Lyra!
Lyra?
Lyra!
Lyra. So after this, we get the Roxanne Perez versus Io Sky match, and before Io's entrance, we get a replay of what happened last week with Julia and Rhea. Um, but as the match starts, they go back and forth for like the first minute, chasing each other, trading hits, whatever it may be. But Roxanne hits a suicide dive onto Io, but then Io immediately delivers one of her own because Roxanne gets a little, she gets a little slow to get up. But Io Sky later hits the missile dropkick and goes for Meteora, but her knee gives out. And so Roxanne does the guillotine knee. This is what Pat McAfee had called the knee to the back of the head, I believe is what it was. But there was to finish this match, and after an unnecessary amount of reverse roll ups, Io finally pins Roxanne.
Let's go.
Before we get to the after match, Ryan, what was your thoughts on this match? I kind of was like with it.
They definitely can go harder. Like these two can. I feel like this. I think this is the first time they've ever had a match with each other. I
Right.
think so. They can definitely run this on a PLE for a world title. Give them about 20-ish minutes, and it would be the match of the night. Like I firmly believe that. But this, I feel like, was just. It wasn't what they could have done. Like they could
Yeah, I
definitely
feel like
did
it could have
do
been
better.
better.
Yeah, I definitely could be better. I didn't think it was bad by any means.
I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the match. I think I don't know. I'm not Dave Meltzer, but I do like certain matches. So
Mhm. I'm not a big
after the
fan
match,
of the. Oh, I'm sorry.
no, you go.
I think it's well overused the amount of roll ups in wrestling anymore.
Yeah,
Like way too many people, way too many matches end in a surprise roll up, and way too many matches end in a distraction finish anymore. Like I just want to go back to a period where it's one person versus another person. Eventually, they hit their finisher, and that's it. Like, it, done. That's the match. But instead, we have like two or three separate interruptions. And then it ends with a surprise roll up with the guy putting his feet on the ropes as well. But like, yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's cooked. So
Cool.
after the match, Roxanne offers to shake Io's hand, and they shake hands. So sorry, whatever, so be it. Julia though attacks Io from behind, and then Roxanne comes back in. They both have the numbers game on Io, but Julia puts Roxanne in this weird ass hold twice, and it really like a solid submission. And Roxanne kicks Io in the face twice as well. I actually would be okay with that, even if it's that if they run a tag team with Roxanne and Julia. I'd be okay with that being the team finish.
Yeah, I really like that. If these guys are gonna be like, I like the idea of these two coming up to the main roster now, and either one of two options. They can either try to do we're taking everything gimmick, where we're gonna take the tag belts and singles belts, or they can just be Julia or Roxanne goes after the Intercontinental and World title respectively.
Honestly, I think I would like to see. I would like to see more with Roxanne and Julia, but I mean, you could obviously just go back on YouTube and watch their matches. But I mean, I want to see
Oh yeah, definitely.
more than them being these little NXT brats that come in and just attack the women's division. Because if you really
Mm-hmm.
want to send them over, do a match, say Money in the Bank, run a series of 3 with these people, with these girls, like Roxanne and Julia versus Rhea and Io. Run a series of 3 tag team matches. Run one on, because we're running one on Raw next week. Why not run one 2 weeks later, and then why not run one at Money in the Bank? Money in the Bank is earlier this year. It's not in July. It's in June.
Mm-hmm. We also have Saturday night main event. Saturday night's main event. Saturday, yeah, am I saying that right? Saturday
I got
night's main event.
announced. Saturday
Yeah,
night's main
two
event.
weeks. 2 weeks from now, or 2 weeks from, or a week. 2 weeks from the weekend, I think. Yeah, we got one coming up though. I think that's where Logan Paul and Jay Uso is actually going to end up happening. That's why they're not
Probably
having it Saturday night's main event, or not on Backlash. Shit, I'm getting my dates mixed
not
up
on
now.
Backlash.
Why it's not on Backlash? Yeah, there you go.
That match is going to be good, but I I hope Logan Paul doesn't take that title. Like I know it's
Yeah,
probably not going to happen, but
it's so mad, dude. Imagine if it's a case of Braun Breaker like ends up screwing Jay Uso to get the title on Logan Paul because they know that they can beat Logan Paul easier than Jay Uso.
what if Logan Paul's number 3?
Oh my god, I would hate everything. It would ruin the group and I would never want to watch Raw. I would genuinely hate that. Logan needs something new. I think that, but not that.
Why
Sorry,
not?
but no. No. No, no. No, no. No, no. No, no. Mm-mm. Sorry, but no.
Let me get a sip of water.
That is just, oh my gosh. I
That's fine.
like, okay, so like I like Logan as a heel, as a weaselly little heel, and he needs, I wouldn't even be against him getting his own group, but not in that group.
I got you. I got you.
Logan Paul stable could be potentially a good idea though.
Bring in what's his nuts? What's his name? Oh my god, the guy helped him WrestleMania. Was it WrestleMania? I don't know. Whatever.
Snoop
His little
Dogg?
wacky.
No, no,
No. Logan Paul's
no,
wacky.
Snoop Dogg. That's different. Jeff?
But Jeff, yes. But after this is probably my favorite like statistical thing of the night. We get 2 big meaty men. Otis versus Rusev, tail of the tape. We start out with height. Otis, a whopping 5'10". Rusev is 6'1". That what is he, Bulgarian? That Bulgarian
Mm-hmm.
brute.
Mm-hmm.
But Otis, it doesn't matter. He weighs 330 pounds where Rusev weighs 270. But that wingspan, just Rusev helps out a little bit more. He's got half a foot on Otis. Otis has 72. Rusev has 78. But Otis, he a big boy. He got that thick ass neck. He got a 24-inch neck. While Rusev, he's got a 20-inch neck. And, like I said, Otis being the big boy he is, he's got a 60.5-inch chest where Rusev has a 53-inch chest. There's some big, meaty men smacking man
Smacking
meat.
man meat. Dude, one thing I need to point out before you talk about this match. Look at fucking Rusev and just like, how the fuck does a person look like that? His quads are the size of my torso, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
God. This guy's
Like,
got the big old quads.
what?
This dude is insane. Oh, my God. Oh, my bad. All right, but after this, we get into their match. Like Ryan was just saying, Otis with the Alpha Academy versus Rusev. And as this match starts, Otis and Rusev do an all collar and elbow tie up. Rusev hits an insane spinning heel kick though. But we get to the outside of the ring later, and Otis throws Rusev over to the announce table, throws him into the ring steps, and both of them hit the ring post. Otis with his hand and Rusev with his foot. But even though Otis is a big, meaty man with that 24-inch neck, he still cannot outlast the accolade that Rusev locks in on Otis for the win. So after the match, Tozawa, he steps up, stepping up for that big man, Otis. Rusev is like, I'm not doing this shit. Like, later. Rusev comes back, though, power bombs Tozawa onto Otis, and then sends Otis to the outside of the ring. Later, sends him back into the ring, kicks him in the face, locks in the accolade again, and Pierce and other officials have to come out to Otis's aid. Hear me out. This is how you write off Otis. Okay, you write off Otis this way. And you fucking bring Otis back as some big bully badass to take out. Oh my god, you can run America versus a Russia storyline right here. I'm not even kidding you. Because Otis, the big American man, stand for his country, then Rusev, the big Bulgarian brute. Like, oh my god, that'd be so good. What do you think, Ryan? Hear me out. Talk to me.
Okay, you had me until it was U.S. versus Russia. You had me up until that point.
Like, it's not like that style, but it's in like modern day wrestling is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I really like the idea of this like potentially being the write off of, especially dude because oh my god, that makes me so mad that we lost Strowman now because Strowman versus this guy.
Oh my god.
I pray Bronson Reed comes back soon.
But you know why Strowman got let go? I think a big reason
He's
he got let
too
go.
old and he got paid too much.
There's that. But I think it also has to do with the acquisition of AAA, which you know who their current world champion is right now, right?
Del Rio?
Right now, he's under WWE contract because they acquired AAA.
Yeah, because they bought out the contract and shit like that, yeah.
Fuck. But I saw this thing. It was like WWE can do the funniest thing right now, and it was bringing back the nation. What is it? World, not the Nation of Domination. It was like bringing the nations
League
together.
of
What
Nations.
was it? League of Nations. Yeah.
Oh no.
Bring the League of Nations back together.
That would be so fucking funny. I can't even lie. I don't even know if I'd be upset. That'd just be really funny. Like, why are you doing
you
this?
look back
to
on this
me?
group.
I hated it before. Why are you doing it again?
It's 2 Europeans, a Mexican. No, not like. Okay, you know what? Hispanic. Fuck it. And then it's
like 3.
It's technically an Asian because Russia and Bulgaria reside in Asia. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. And then we could throw El Grande Americano in there as well.
Oh Jesus.
If we don't want to bring Del Rio back on TV. He's the speed champion now.
Who?
El Grande.
El Grande America?
Yeah, he's the speed champion.
Wait, no, Bulgaria is not part of Asia. I lied. It is European as well. So it's 3 Europeans and a Mexican.
So it's the League of Europe plus Mexico.
Yeah, basically.
The UK.
So after this, we come back from commercial with a replay of Rusev absolutely just murking Alpha Academy, just straight murdering him. Pierce is down in the ring, though, because he already has to be out there. He wants to put the show back on track. Introduces Pat McAfee, introduces Gunther, and Pierce says there will be no violence because come Saturday, the time for talk is done. Keep it professional. Gunther, he goes, first of all, he gets. I think we're just going to compare it as Dominic levels of heat anymore, even though Dominic gets cheered now. He gets Dominic heat. He goes, don't worry, I'm not going to do anything tonight. Unlike you and your friend, I am professional. And then this is where we get the you tapped out chance. I love this. Says he will get back into that later, though. And Pat goes, I heard you mention being professional. My friend, that man, he is a walking, talking goat. Me and Michael Cole chants for 28 years, every single week of his life, except for 3 days. He has dedicated traveling the world for this company. He has earned the right to have an opinion. Since his opinion pissed you off, let me give you an opinion, my opinion of you. Shouts out Coach Rule and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Shouts out the Omaha Steaks. And right across from this arena is a baseball field that hosted the College Baseball World Series in 1950. This entire area right here, you can see it right on this highlight area that I just highlighted. To me, that's kind of where I lost it with the promo. That's where I got lost.
Too much
That's kind of
hometown
why.
shit for me. I'm not from Nebraska and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not either.
I'm here
I
for
would
the
like to go to
wrestling.
I would like to go to their the Cornhusker Stadium though. It is actually very beautiful. I think dreams is a good word. We have a lot in common. I'm from the United States of America. You're from Vienna, Austria. And both of us grew up similarly. The problem with you and your dream, though, is you've been at this for 20 years. You've been a champion 80% of the time you've been here. And every time I walk into a WWE arena, Pat thinks about younger him. What Pat thinks Gunther is now is suppose, he's kind of just waltzing around the stage. You've gotten too damn comfortable. On Saturday, you're going to overlook me and underestimate me. I'm going to prove that Gunther is soft. Dude, I'm just gonna before I get to this. When he name dropped Walter, that was wild.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. I loved that when he said that. And Pat, you want to talk about Walter? You're gonna meet Walter.
You're gonna fucking meet Walter. That dude is a eating, breathing European machine. But he goes, Gunther goes, did you enjoy your daughter's birthday? 2 years, right? That's cute. I bet it was a special day because for me, Saturday is a very special day. You just got me in the mood for it. This is my first match since WrestleMania, and I'm going to show up. I'm going to promise Pat and you have my full, undivided attention. And on Saturday, that bell's going to ring, and he's going to maul and choke Pat until he drops like a wet towel. Because tonight, by my grace, you are untouchable. And trust me when I say this, by only the grace of God will you be able to lift my arms off of your throat. Wow.
Oh my God. I believe last week I said that I wasn't really happy for this or excited or too excited for it because it's why are we doing Gunther this way?
Yeah, no disrespect to Pat. He's a cool dude. Don't get me wrong, he's a great WWE personality, but he's more of he's an announcer.
Yeah,
But he's not
look
afraid
at
to get
his
in the
other
ring though,
matches.
unless it's
Austin
Brock and Omos.
Theory was his last match, if we're not counting the Vince McMahon one.
Or Royal Rumble.
Yeah, or Royal Rumble, yeah. But special guest appearances. He's not the guy to take on your main event dude. But now with that last line, by the grace of God, we'll be able to lift my hands off of your throat. It's oh, we're gonna see a murder. That's why we're
Literally.
doing this. That's why we're gonna because is Pat leaving for college football season this year again?
Yeah, but not right now. College football doesn't start till August.
In the start of August, so he's not going to be.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe he is set for some time
He's
off.
he's kind of covering the NBA, but it's only on his show. And he really only covers the Pacers and the Fever. So.
Yeah. So I don't know. This was maybe an idea that I had. Maybe we're going to be writing Pat off for a little bit and filling in with Joe Tessitore or something. But yeah, I don't know. I had
Bring
the
back
idea.
Corey.
Bring back Corey, please. Maybe this is how we do it. I
Man, I
threw out
love
the
Pat,
idea
but
that
bring back Corey.
yeah, straight up that maybe Pat could beat Gunther, and this starts a Gunther losing streak.
I'd be okay with it. I thought about that too. The Gunther losing streak, and I was like, I'm okay with that because now he has to go into the slump. Now he's at the bottom of the barrel where everybody else resides. Now he's got to fight his way through to the top.
Yeah, and while again, I mean, no disrespect on Pat, people can now throw it at his face that you lost your world champion and then you lost to an announcer. You're the ring general, really?
Oh, God.
When Gunther's gonna have to just kill someone in order to redeem himself, but who knows? This did get me more excited for this match, though.
Yeah. All right. Hello? Yeah, we're here. Accidentally swiped out. My bad.
All good.
I was trying to turn my phone on to see when it was, but it was not swiped out. All right. Where are we at? After this, John Cena and Randy Orton. We just get their little hype promo video for Backlash. We see Breaking Point 2009, the I Quit match when Randy Orton and John Cena absolutely murdered each other until Randy Orton said I quit. We just see highlights of their matches over the years as well. But while Jay's heading to the ring for his match, we see Finn Balor in the background talking to Roxanne Perez. What do you think about this, Brian? I wanted to kind of run this past you because I know, like I said earlier, Finn's kind of your guy, so you would kind of know more, I guess you could say.
Oh my gosh. It all just connected.
What?
So, okay, hold on. I didn't even know that this segment happened, so this is all me just putting it together as we talk. This is them just making their establishment that they're on the roster now, them attacking Io and Rhea. Then they're going to gun for the tag belts. And then I'm going to assume similar to how Dom gave Liv the world title last year, Finn is going to end up giving the tag titles to Roxanne and Julia, who in turn get him the Intercontinental belt. And then we have Finn, JD, Roxanne, and Julia versus Dom, Liv, Roxanne, or Raquel, and Carlito.
Oh, word. I'd fuck with that. Ooh. Ooh.
That's
I
just an
like that a
idea.
lot,
This is
actually.
the idea. There you go.
So, I mean, speaking of Finn, next Monday he fights AJ Styles. The War Raiders take on American Made. And then after this, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley take on Julia and Roxanne Perez.
I'm ungodly excited for that freaking Finn and AJ match. That should be on a PLE.
I hope it's good, dude. I hope the Judgment Day isn't going to evolve. Like, this literally needs to stay a one-on-one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, like, yeah, like I know it's the Judgment Day shtick and all that, but please just let this be a one-on-one match for me, for the fans of good wrestling. Just let us have this match.
Yeah, for the sake of us. So, this is where we get to our main event of the night. Seth freaking Rollins, who is with Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker, is taking on the World Heavyweight Champion. Main event, Jay Uso.
Ooh.
And this match would have determined my entire week. If I'm just saying, because technically what happened did happen, but
Mhm.
I'm saying if Jay would have lost his title belt, I would have been upset. So to get to the match, Seth starts out hot against Jay. Rollins delivers the first super kick though of the night. I want to make that clear. They delivered the first one, and Jay hits a suicide dive later that sends Rollins over the announce table. But as we get later in the match, they both crossbody each other in the ring. And then they're kind of fighting a little bit later. But after this, Rollins comes up off the top rope and gets absolutely fucking super kicked in the face. I thought that was it. I would have been happy if that was it. Cause fuck Rollins. Rollins later though falls into the official as they're fighting, and this helps Breaker get involved, and Rollins capitalizes with a Falcon Arrow and a stomp. And as he goes to pin him, Sami Zayn comes to Jay's aid. Sami takes out Braun Breaker as he's flying through the crowd because he doesn't come as the entrance. He comes flying over, takes out Breaker. Uso hits a super kick, then hits a spear and a Uso splash. We see the 1, 2. That ain't 3 though, because Seth calls for Heyman to get up on the apron, and Breaker spears Uso outside the ring. Rollins is able to hit the stomp, and as he goes for the pin, we think it's the 1, 2, 3, but CM Punk comes out with a steel chair, hits Breaker with the chair. Punk hits Rollins with the chair multiple times, and as before we close of the night, Breaker eats some more chair shots as well with Sami, Jay, and Punk in the ring, and Rollins, Breaker, and Heyman on the ramp.
Wow.
Yeah.
This was like, dude, the Uso splash after Sami Zayn came out, I thought Uso won the match.
I
And
I
then
I bit multiple times on Rollins winning.
Dude, the very last stomp before Punk's music hit, it was like I had flashbacks of WrestleMania, I think it was 19, when Triple H hit Booker T with the pedigree and waited 23 seconds to pin him for the 1, 2, 3. I had flashbacks because he hit the stomp and then he didn't pin him, and I'm just like, wait, that's clear. This is the end of the match. Like, there's no way Jay kicks out of that. So I'm like, why aren't you pinning him? Why aren't you pinning him? Why are we burying Jay like this?
You want to
So
bury?
worried.
I can't. I don't
I
know if I
was
can be friends with you
so
anymore,
worried.
Ryan. You want to bury Jay? Are you serious?
I never said that that's what I wanted to do. I never said that that's what I wanted to do. I said, why are we doing this? Because I
He
thought that
said,
that was,
no,
yeah, no, I thought that they were
no.
burying Jay by like having him take the finisher and then take a long time for Seth to pin him before winning.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like how long it's like things are starting to take sometimes because that when Seth hit the stomp, like he could have went for the like you're saying he could have went for the pin. That's when Punk's music could have hit. But yeah, you said he waited a while. I don't like how things like long things are taking because like that dramatic pause can only go on for so long because it's
I
a
mean,
dramatic pause for a reason.
in hindsight, it's good though because like it gave a reaction of like my reaction isn't like, oh my God, like why is this happening? It's just like, oh my God, Jay is losing now, and he is just like he's knocked out cold. Because like, and it went
Yeah,
from oh no, Jay's like losing to it's like the same feeling of like, oh my God, I can't believe we're ending the title reign like this. To holy shit, yes, now CM Punk is here and the title reign is saved.
let's go.
Yep, I was pretty happy about this. I also feel like this is setting up maybe like a 6-man tag for um Saturday night's main event,
I
maybe.
saw something. It would be they were talking. There was talks about Roman and Punk versus Breaker and Rollins.
I don't know about that anymore, actually. It looks more like because you saw what happened after what's it called? Raw with Logan Paul and Jey Uso too.
Yeah. Jay got clocked by Logan. Yeah,
Yeah. So like I think that's more setting up that for Saturday night's main event. Or the idea is Logan could have a loose alliance with Seth's group and they could do a 6-man tag with them versus Punk, Sammy, and Jay. Or with Roman Reigns probably just taking some time off, probably after Mania, because that's just what Roman Reigns does.
yeah.
He's a
He likes
part
to take
timer.
time off. Yeah, part
Yeah,
timer.
we acknowledge our tribal chief, but he is a part timer. Let's be real here, just stating facts. Um, he's probably not going to be seen for a while, so it's probably going to be Sami Zayn and CM Punk versus Seth and Breaker.
Yeah, simple spear took him out. No, I'm just kidding.
Hmm.
Breaker mauled that man in
Yeah, no,
half.
dude. He took like 5 of them last week, and then took like 3 of them this week. Leave Sammy's ribs alone.
Yeah, Sammy's beat the hell. So I think are we ready? Are we ready to give the AR Wrestling's highlight of the night, Ryan?
Hell yes, I am.
Let's get it, Ryan. Let's start out with you because I've been doing all the jabber jawing this entire episode.
Highlight of the night for me. It is going to be Gunther and Pat's promo work. Just the entire promo as a whole. Like, oh my god, like the ball. Like, okay, so I'm rambling. Sorry, Pat lost me a little bit when he like starts going on about the sports teams in Nebraska and shit like that. But
Ryan doesn't know sports ball.
I don't know sports ball, so that's just gonna happen. But then it's just like, all right, I feel for you, Pat. You're fighting for Michael Cole. You're standing up for him, someone that can't fight Gunther himself. So you're standing up for the bully. I can respect that. Let's go, Pat. And Gunther responds with only the way Gunther can, was just like, how's your daughter? Did you have a good birthday with her? Good. Because on Saturday, only the grace of God will remove my hands from your throat because I'm gonna murder you.
That's basically what he said.
Like,
That is basically what that
jeez.
man said.
And I really hope that that's essentially what maybe like Pat McAfee can get like 1 or 2 hope spots in there with like a roll up or like a big splash or something. But at the end of it, I really want like Gunther to power bomb Pat McAfee through the announce table that Michael Cole is sitting at.
What I
That
want
is
to
the
do,
level of cynical I'm at.
I think Pat would take the bump, but
Oh, Pat would.
my thing with that is not with that. Now with the match, if I was Triple H and all them, I would have Pat's boys there. Have them have specifically Darius Butler do something because he's played football, so he knows how to be safe when it comes to like doing like a spear or something, and then protecting the player, whatever it may be. I probably have or one of his boys. I don't know, maybe like if AJ Hawk is there or something, maybe like Ty. Like Ty took a fucking boot to the chest for Pat. They talked about it the next day. I think I sent you that video. That shit was so funny.
Yeah.
So I definitely am really. I'm excited for this, but the promo of Pat kind of lost me for a minute.
Yeah, Pat definitely lost me, but Gunther got me. Damn, Gunther reeled me back in with it.
Oh God.
Also, I want to shout out the Paul Heyman one. I debated between Paul Heyman's promo and this one.
Paul Heyman's promo was fire. But I mean, I don't want to cut you off, Ryan. Is there anything else that you got going?
That's it all for that one. How about you? What was your highlight for you?
For me, it was Rusev mauling the Alpha Academy. Because, I mean, like he said, what was it in the video package last week? He's here to take out, like, wasted talent. I loved how he just kind of went after Alpha Academy because they're really, wasted. I hate to say it, love them, but they're wasted talent right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you could see it that way. But if this is how you start out Rusev, I think you bring back Otis in a very convincing fashion to really, I won't say it's not going to push Rusev, but it's moreover going to help Rusev grow in character and have Otis, kind of solidify himself as this. He's not this big ass teddy bear who takes beatings. He's this one big motherfucker who will fuck you up.
Yeah, I really like that. You're pushing the idea there with that his character is actually doing what his character says he's gonna do, right?
Right.
Like he says he's gonna correct your wasted talent. He beats the shit out of Otis. Otis comes back with new talent, new attitude, and new success. It's kind of what Karrion Kross is. It's just characters holding up to what they're just doing what they said that they're going to do. It's that simple.
Yeah, Karrion Kross.
Character is good. What Karrion Kross is doing.
Yeah, Karrion had a segment, but it was like that thing from last week with Kaiser. It was just kind of cut off. You didn't even see it if you were in the U.S. I think internationally you saw it, so it was kind of cucked. This is bullshit.
If Kross had a segment with Kaiser, is that what you're saying?
No. Kross had a similar segment like Kaiser where it was during commercial, but you could see it if you're international. I'm pretty sure you could see it, but if you're in the U.S., you can't really see it.
Okay,
you'd have to go on Twitter or YouTube or something to find it.
Yeah.
So. That was my highlight of the night. It was great. Raw was awesome.
Raw was awesome. I can agree with that.
I mean,
yeah, that's all I got for Raw. In all honesty, you got anything else for that?
Nah, that's all we got. But ladies and gentlemen, as usual, follow along with us on our social medias. AR Wrestling _ is the Twitter. Instagram is AR _ Wrestling _ Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. All AR Wrestling podcasts. The YouTube is AR Wrestling 1020, and our Twitch is twitch.tv / AR _ Wrestling. At some point, we are planning on getting a Twitch setup and everything going. We're just trying to figure out everything going on. So we'll get that to you guys as soon as possible. But for the close out of this Raw, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you.